Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Joy at Work. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for taking a few minutes. These videos are not long, they're short. They try to get straight to the point and at least cause us to think and reflect and to have something we can use to act differently in the world, but possibly. My request all the time is if you find this valuable, if you find the content valuable, let me know, reach out. But most importantly, just share with somebody, share the channel with somebody, share the thoughts with somebody, have a conversation about it. Spend a lot of time at work, and I think it's really important we think about how we can experience more joy at work. All right, so today's topic, pretty straightforward and simple, but this is something I've been thinking about as well, and that is, we are often so busy doing the work, we don't stop to think about how it is that we are doing the work. So we don't reflect on the way that we are working. And I know there are a whole bunch of different practices and approaches, retrospectives, and a whole things people do to stop and pause and think about the way they're doing work, at least maybe at a team level or group level. But how often do you do this as an individual? How often do you stop and say to yourself, let me think about the way I am doing the work that I am doing? And I don't, if you're like me, it's really easy to just get even good and decent at working in a certain way, and that way produces the results you desire. And so you get very comfortable with it, and you decide, not maybe even intentionally, maybe it's largely unconsciously, but because we're getting the results we desire, we don't look or reflect on the way we're working. And so as a result, we kind of plateau with that method or technique or practice. And it may just be good enough. It might actually be good enough. But when we think about like joy at work, there is something to stopping to pause, to reflect on how we're doing the work that we do, and then challenging ourselves in the right areas to get better, to pick up new practices, to find new, useful, beneficials, and more effective ways to get things done. Of course, this means that we're taking time from doing something else that it might be important. And so there are always trade offs when we're thinking through these things. But it is important to at least pause and say to yourself and ask yourself the question, is this an area that it makes sense for me to improve in? Or is the way I'm working right now good enough and no need to reflect on this and do anything different here? Reflective practice is just something that I found highly beneficial for my just own experience in the workplace, because whenever I discover a new practice or find a different way of doing something that I've done for a long time, it gives me actually joy. Like discovering a new approach actually gives me joy. And then applying it and seeing kind of better results than what I had before is actually fulfilling and helps me even find meaning in the work that I do. So think about this. Think about reflective practice. How often do you pause in your own practice and the way you do your work, whatever your job is? How often, as an individual, do you pause to reflect on the way you're doing the work and ask yourself, research, talk to others, and find out if there are other ways, better ways actually, not just other ways, but what better ways, more beneficial ways, more useful ways to do the things you're doing? I think this is something that can really help us get better at what we do. And we know, like, the more we feel uh, fulfillment, the more we feel like we're doing something that matters, the more that the results come in, positive results come in, the more we experience joy at work. So hopefully this helps you. Hopefully you're going to think about reflective practice. Maybe you're going to pause and think about the way you do your work and look for better ways, improved ways to do it. All right. Thanks for joining me again. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with somebody. I'll see you next time. Bye.